In your presence, the world fades away, and all that remains is the authenticity you exude, wild, untamed, and infinitely more than I ever imagined. The layers that I've uncovered within you reveal a soul wilder than any dream, a force so captivating I find myself lost in the beauty of it. Every time I think I've grasped the essence of who you are, a new depth emerges, something wilder, freer, and more powerful than I could have ever dreamed. You've opened my eyes to a version of yourself that I never could have imagined, a version that's even more breathtaking and untamable than the wildest fantasies I once held. When I first met you, I thought I knew who you were, but what I've discovered is far beyond anything I could have dreamed. A person full of untapped energy and boundless wonder. There's a fire in you, a spark that refuses to be contained, and it burns brighter and wilder than anything I've ever seen or dreamed of. You are the embodiment of everything I never knew I wanted, yet everything I was destined to discover, more vibrant, free, and unpredictable than any dream I had. You are not just a dream, you're a world of possibilities, each more thrilling and untamed than the last, leaving me breathless at every turn. The more I witness the real you, the more I realize that the person I thought I knew was only a glimpse of the wildness and wonder you carry within. Your spirit is boundless, and every time I get closer, I see a new layer, more intense, more unpredictable, and more alive than I ever could have imagined. What I've come to realize is that the real you is not something I could have prepared for. You're a force that bends the very fabric of reality, taking me to places even my wildest dreams couldn't reach. I've come to know the real you, and in doing so, I've discovered a depth of passion and wildness that stretches beyond anything I ever imagined. The more I get to know you, the more I'm astounded by the depth of your spirit. Your wild energy is far beyond the confines of any dream or fantasy I could ever create. When you let me in, I saw the unbridled power within you, a version of yourself wilder, more unpredictable, and more beautiful than any dream I could have ever dreamt. In your eyes, I see a storm of emotions, passions, and thoughts too vast to describe. A storm so powerful it sweeps me off my feet and into the heart of your wildness. The way you live, with such raw freedom and unapologetic strength, makes me realize that no dream could ever have captured the essence of who you truly are. What I thought I knew about you was only the surface. The real you is a force of nature, wild, free, and wilder than anything I've ever encountered. Every time I think I understand you, I realize there's more, layers of depth, beauty, and wildness that keep me yearning to know even more. You are the dream I never dared to dream, and yet here you are, far beyond my wildest expectations, showing me the true power of being unapologetically yourself. The truth about you is that you're so much more than I could have ever imagined. Wilder, freer, and more magnificent than my mind ever dared to dream. Each moment spent with you reveals a new chapter of your untamed spirit, one that's so much more exhilarating and vivid than I could ever have dreamt. You've turned my dreams upside down, showing me a reality that's even more beautiful, chaotic, and alive than anything I could have imagined. I thought I understood you, but now I see. There's a wildness to your soul that's beyond comprehension, a beauty that surpasses every dream I ever had. What I've learned from being close to you is that you're not a dream to be chased, but a reality to be experienced. Wild, breathtaking, and more than anything I ever imagined. Your wildness is contagious. It's as if your soul dances in the fire, and every part of me is drawn to it, to a reality I never even knew existed. You've opened my eyes to a version of life and love that is far beyond anything I could have imagined, vivid, untamed, and so much more than I ever dreamed of. What I see in you is far beyond the person I thought I knew, something more untamed, more vibrant, and filled with energy I can barely comprehend. You are proof that the wildest dreams are only the beginning. What lies beneath the surface is a truth far more beautiful and raw than I ever could have conceived. You've become a reflection of all the beauty and chaos I could never have dreamed of. Each moment with you pulls me deeper into your wild world. The real you is far wilder than any fantasy, full of unpredictability, passion, and untamed beauty that stirs something deep inside me every time we're together. The person you are is like a dream made real, only more vivid, more intense, and infinitely more beautiful than anything I could have imagined. I've come to see that the dream I once held for us was only a fragment of what you truly are, a wild, beautiful, and free spirit that's beyond my wildest fantasies. You've revealed parts of yourself to me that I never thought possible, showing me a beauty and strength wilder than my most vivid dreams could ever predict. In your eyes, I see endless possibilities, a wildness that's both comforting and thrilling, everything I never thought I needed, but now can't live without. The real you is like a hidden treasure, wilder, more intense, and more astonishing than anything I ever expected or imagined. What I thought I knew about you pales in comparison to the untamed beauty and wildness I've come to cherish in your every move, every word, every glance. You've shown me that dreams are just the beginning. What's real, what's raw, and what's wild is so much better than anything I could have ever hoped for. Your authenticity is the wildest thing I've ever known, and every time I think I understand you, I'm reminded that there's always more, more to discover, more to feel, more to love. The way you exist in the world, untamed, passionate, and wild, reminds me that no dream could ever encapsulate the power of being truly free. Each new part of you I discover fills me with awe. Your real self is so much wilder, more intense, and more mesmerizing than any dream I ever had. The more I see of you, the more I realize that the real you is infinitely more beautiful and wild than any fantasy or dream I could have ever imagined. In your presence, the boundaries of what's possible seem to disappear, revealing a world more beautiful and unpredictable than anything I ever dreamed. You've shattered my expectations, showing me a version of you that's wilder, freer, and more breathtaking than any dream could have ever prepared me for. I never thought I'd find someone like you, someone who exists far beyond the limits of my imagination, wild, free, and beyond anything I could ever dream. The person you are today is even more magnificent, more untamed, and more wondrous than any fantasy I once held. What I've learned about you is that you are the embodiment of my wildest dreams, but more than that, you're a force of nature, powerful, raw, and absolutely untouchable. In your soul, I see something that no dream could capture, a wildness, a strength, and a beauty that sets my heart racing and my mind ablaze. You're a dream come to life, only wilder, more beautiful, and more captivating than anything I could have hoped for. What I thought was the wildest dream has now become my reality, one filled with depth, freedom, and a beauty I never expected. I never could have imagined that the wildest dreams would lead me to you, yet here you are, even more than I could have ever hoped for. The reality of who you are is 1,000 times more intense, passionate, and wild than anything I could have conjured in my wildest dreams. What I once saw as a fantasy is now my reality, filled with a wild beauty and depth that never ceases to amaze me. You're not just a dream, you're the spark that ignites everything, wilder, more exhilarating, and more real than anything I could have imagined. The real you is a whirlwind of raw, untamed energy, far beyond the limits of any dream I ever dared to dream. What I thought I knew about you is only the beginning. Your wildness is endless, your spirit boundless, and your beauty beyond any dream. With you, the impossible becomes possible, and every dream I once held pales in comparison to the reality you bring into my life. You are the living embodiment of everything I never knew I want and everything I didn't know I needed, wilder and more beautiful than I ever imagined. You've shown me that the dreams we chase are just the starting point. The real beauty lies in the wild journey we take together. The real you is a mystery I'll spend my life trying to decipher, because every time I think I understand you, I'm reminded that you are wilder and more stunning than I ever thought possible. You are a wild, untamed dream come to life, a reality more beautiful, more unpredictable, and far more exhilarating than anything I ever imagined.